After a long journey through the East Coast, it was finally time to head home. And boy, was I glad because I was going to see my dog again. Still, there was one more, or rather two more modes of transportation to get us back home. First, we had to take the shuttle to Atlanta, and after seeing two more family members, we would need to take a flight back. Because most of this is just random and boring pictures of road signs, I will have lots of skip functions that you can skip to throughout the video. You can't click them on the video, but you can move it to where you need to go in the video. Alright, enjoy! After traveling for quite some time, our driver stopped just outside Dublin, Georgia, for us to take a break of the ride. We went off at exit 49 on Highway 257 and stopped at the Love Travel Stop, which had a subway and a few gas pumps for trucks and other things to fill up. I used the restroom and didn't come out immediately, but let's just say that I spent some time doing some unnecessary stuff. Anyway, let's continue on. Interstate 16 acts as a connector to Interstate 75 to Macon, Georgia. Interstate 75 doesn't have a complete connection to Savannah, Georgia and Atlanta, Georgia, so Interstate 16 just happens to make up for it. While that we were on Interstate 75, we had pretty much a straight shot into Atlanta, Georgia, so we did encounter some traffic just outside the city due to what I believe was an accident. I-675 was to have a lot more purposes than just connecting I-75 to I-285 east of the current interchange between the two. It was also part of a larger connection that would have connected a lot of places in downtown Atlanta. Unfortunately, the Atlanta Freeway revolts in the 1970s and it put an end to that plan. However, there are still plans, or an idea at least, to extend I-675 north to I-20, though these ideas are still under construction. And here it is, I-285, the big Atlanta bypass around Atlanta. This would also help us to get to the airport, as we got off to get on the inner loop of the Beltway that would take us toward I-85. Atlanta's airport is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, if I'm not mistaken, in the nation. It also has one of the most interesting schemes in the nation, though I will get to that later on. Atlanta's airport is so big that a few of its runways actually pass over I-85. It has bridges. It's really interesting system. Planes are taking off and landing all the time, and there's a lot of parking and a lot of people. It's amazing how this southeastern hub is one of the most active airports in the nation. More than New York, more than LA, more than Miami. It's so cool. After spending a little bit more time with the family, we head to our flight. But until then, I did take a few more boring pictures, so you can skip them if you want. To get to the terminal, you had to take something called the plane train. Because the airport is so big, the facilities are in individual buildings that are you can reach via an underground subway system called the plane train. It's a little system that goes from A, B, C, D, E, F, so on. That's the gate. Sorry. That is the gate that it will take you to and will take you back from. It's a very interesting system and the only one I've ever encountered in an airport. I hadn't actually realized what our flight number was until we got to the main gate. And ironically, it was 821, one of the numbers the Heartland Flyer has. How cool that we were going home on a Heartland Flyer number. Amtrak, you're awesome. After 2 hours in the air, we started our descent toward Oklahoma City. It didn't take long for us to be finally back on the ground, back home. After we land, I decided to say a few more words before it all comes to an end. And with that, my friends, I have officially ended my first trip back to the East Coast. What fun that was. What fun that was. I still don't like flying. You see this? This is my preferred way of travel when I go long distance. It will forever be that way. Forever. Ever. But still, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope to have this out soon. Lots of parts and lots of things to edit. Dear God. I'm sure it won't be too bad, hopefully. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next time Cheshire videos. Until then, love you guys. Peace out. Subscribe. Please. And I hope to see you in the next time Cheshire video. Next time on Cheshire, it's back in the silent pond as I do my first rail fading for the duck pond since the quiet zone started. And BNSF did not disappoint on this day, surprisingly. Normal lash ups, but a bunch of good trains that came through. I decided to do a little test run of various places to stand because I didn't know if I would be doing the crossing anymore with no horns. But in the end, I decided the best thing to do is do it at crossings. Anyway, see you next time. And I'm still 4 months behind on this stuff? No, I'm sorry, I can't even do math right now. 6 months behind. Save me, please. Bye.